Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's world.
The Michael Jordan of wrestling is back! Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce the return of Kenny, by God, Omega! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx. I am excited to talk about tonight's Dynamite. I can't be the only one that thought that Dynamite was absolutely fantastic. It was epic. Epic. It was top to bottom easily one of the best shows we've seen this year. I'm tired of coming up here and telling you that's the best Dynamite. That's the best Dynamite. That's the best. It's at the point now where I just stop saying it. I just expect it now. I expect Dynamite to always have banger shows, banger after banger after banger. And I love them, every single one, because I'm a wrestling fan. This isn't just some AEW versus WWE nonsense. It is time out for that. Can we be done with that? Because WWE and AEW, they're killing it. Both shows are on fire. Fire. Loving Raw. Loving SmackDown. Love Dynamite. If you are a wrestling fan, you would be in heaven. You would be in heaven to have this type of wrestling week after week after week. Yeah, I still see people online finding something to bitch about, even for tonight. When I saw that CM Punk versus Jon Moxley is happening next week, oh, why would you give away the pay-per-view match, the main event that early? Oh, why would you do that? That's just dumb. What the hell? What the hell? Not really thinking about there's only one reason they would do that. Because if they're gonna do that match days before, I can't imagine what they got planned for the pay-per-view. Maybe we got a certain do I have to spell it out for you? Do I have to spell it out for you? Come on now, it's not that hard to figure out why they're doing the match this early. Think about it for a minute. There's only one person that we know could fuck up that match and then do another match at the pay-per-view. And I'm sure you know he's better than you. And you know it. Calling it right now. I am calling it right here in Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, interferes in that match next week. And then we do either a triple threat, or maybe we do get a winner, and the winner fights MJF at the pay-per-view. Something to think about. I've always thought the main event for the all-out show should always be what I thought it was months ago, MJF versus CM Punk. But I'm cool with it being Moxley, MJF, and Punk 2. Oh my goodness. The only reason why I would be against that is I kind of want there to be more build up. Like, imagine if we had started the build this week and then got us 2 weeks of promos with MJF and Punk and Moxley. Honestly, they do it next week. That means we only get one show. One show where they get to cut a promo. Damn. Maybe that's all we need. Maybe that's all we need. But you gotta think, if we're not getting Moxley versus Punk at the pay-per-view, there's only one reason why. There's only one reason why Tony Khan would give away easily the biggest match AEW could do today. Literally the biggest match. I'm just saying. Okay, this is like Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan types of level of a match. You don't give away a match like this on free TV if you don't have another plan for the pay-per-view. I guarantee Tony Khan is a lot of things. One of them being a freaking genius. Sorry. He's a lot of things. You can call him whatever you want. He's not perfect. I think a lot of times, and I say this with kindness, what Tony Khan perceives to be what the fans want can sometimes be what only he wants. You know what I mean? But for the most part, 90% of the time, he's good with having his finger on the pulse. Because even when he's wrong, like thinking the fans would cheer Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, although I love them, I kind of figured, yeah, they're going to boo them. I mean, think about it. Like, Sammy is sleeping with a girl that most men would want. Come on now. It's kind of easy to see why they would get booed. I digress. He usually has a plan. He's not stupid. The only reason he would give away Moxley and Punk is because MJF is coming back. I will die on this heel. I will die on this freaking heel. I know damn well he's coming back next week. You heard it here first. But that's just my thoughts. Regardless, that's next week. We gotta talk about this week, which featured the return of Kenny, by God, Omega. Don Callis, how you doing? You know what I mean? It's great to see him back. God, AEW has felt so empty. It's felt empty with all of these wrestlers being taken out due to injury. You get me? It hasn't felt the same. It has not felt the same. But for me, it's so freaking good to see. It's so freaking good to see AEW get back to full power. And I can't imagine what's to come down the pike. I am ecstatic. Super ecstatic to see what the build up for All Out is going to be, because my goodness, we already have a pretty strong card. Even though it hasn't been officially announced, we already know that we're going to get Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. I have a feeling we're going to get Swerve in Our Glory versus, well, I thought it was going to be FTR, which would have been the right match to do. But I guess we're holding off on that because we want Swerve and Lee to have an actual run with those tag team titles. Maybe they'll drop them at Full Gear, which, sure, I guess. But I'm assuming the match they're going to do is... Wait a minute. Who was the number 2 tag team? Well, it can't be the Acclaimed. I don't think that's... We could do that. I feel like that would be a pretty dope match to do, actually. The Acclaim versus Keith Lee and Swerve. Someone tell me who the number 1 ranked tag team is. I feel like I should know who the number 1 ranked tag team. It's not the Young Bucks. I don't think that's the... No, that's not the match we're going to do, because they're going to do the Trios tournament. I guess I said it right. The Acclaim, right? If it's not FTR, then it's going to be the Acclaim, because FTR and Wardlow will take on Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh. Right, because FTR is the number 1 ranked tag team. I guess it is the Acclaimed. Alright, like the Acclaim versus Keith Lee. Young Bucks is in the Trios tournament. So, yeah, it's the Acclaimed, I guess. Interesting. That is interesting. Alright. Well, people are saying Evil Uno in number 10. Yeah, it's the Acclaimed, probably. But yeah, FTR, Wardlow taking on Jay Lethal Squad. I'm assuming we'll get Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson. That seems to be the direction we're going with that one. Oh my goodness, we still got a lot more to get to. A lot of matches too. Yeah, Someone just told me that the list is FTR, Young Bucks, yeah, and then the Dark Order, and then the Acclaimed. It's the Acclaimed. I had it right the first time, so I'm excited about that. And then I guess Jungle Boy versus Christian, and then Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks. Man, and then the Trios tournament finals. Maybe we'll do Athena versus Jade Cargill too. Like, there's so much we can do. I don't think I even named all the feuds going on. I feel like I missed a good 2 or 3. There's a lot happening here. I'm excited. Well, they're in the Trios tournament right now, but I guarantee you we'll get the House of Black versus Sting, Miro, and Darby Allin. So there's so much to happen. So much to come. I'm excited. I'm super excited to see what they do with the pay-per-view. Let's just get to it, man. Let's pay these bills, and let's get right to the AEW Dynamite review. You guys ready? I'm gonna see if I can get this over. I've been trying to get this over for a while now, but let me see if you guys can follow along. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all of my content when it comes out. While you're at it, help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership today. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing. Whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. But also don't forget to, give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you're donating after the fact. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alex Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, but don't forget to give me a follow on TikTok. I can speak English. My little southern accent got the best of me there. But don't forget to give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkers. Don't know what happened there, sorry about that. But I am still the tickest of the talkers. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, VENMO, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today. Pro Wrestling Tees. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt. But most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. America, cause it's the remix t-shirt made by It's Jane Ox and Firestar Heart. All of this down below in the description box. And are you ever someone that just likes to listen to good music, but you hear Spotify and you go, ugh? Maybe you hear Apple Music and go, ugh. You just get allergic reactions to them. I don't know why. Maybe that's just genetics. Or maybe you're just someone that wants Amazon Music. What was that you said? You're saying, how can I get Amazon Music? Why, I'm glad you asked. I got just the thing for you. How's about we get a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll get to some shout-outs. Today's video is sponsored by Amazon Music Unlimited, featuring 70 million songs and thousands of expert playlists. With Amazon Music Unlimited, you can listen to any song, anytime, anywhere, on all your devices. Smartphone, tablet, PC, Fire TV, and even Amazon Echo. Today, if you sign up using the link getamazonmusic.com, just Alex, you'll get a 90-day free trial that you can cancel at any time. Following that, you'll be paying a small $7.99 that includes no ads and no interruptions. Take advantage of this opportunity today using getamazonmusic.com, just Alex, in the description below. Oh my goodness. Got 100 people in this thing. Good to have you all here. Please be sure to like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will have to be recommended here on YouTube. The more you interact, the more you like, the more you subscribe, and the more you leave comments, it will push this out to the algorithm, and then they'll feed it to other people here in the wrestling community. I want to be at the tippy top. There are people here on YouTube that get 1,000 people per stream. We get hundreds, and that's not, that's not something to scoff at. I love the hundreds of people that watch me every week, but I want thousands. Can we get to thousands? I think we can do it. But you can help me by simply liking the video. Also, before I get to shoutouts, I gotta plug it. We gotta plug it. Victoria, ladies and gentlemen. We just put up the video of her doing her finisher, talking about her finisher, Widow's Peak, and who sold it the best. The full interview is already up for YouTube members. If you are a YouTube member, ladies and gentlemen, you have access to it right now. Now, for the rest of the public, you'll have to wait till Friday to get access to it. But if you can't wait and you need it now, all you gotta do is hit that YouTube membership. You can get the lowest, which I think is like $2. And I say $2 because guess what? For first-time members, you get 50% off. Uh-oh. So why don't y'all get in on this? Get Victoria early. But those of you who want to wait, I have released snippets of the interview. One about her finisher, Widow's Peak, and then another about who she would fight if she returned to WWE. So please check out my interview with Victoria. I know you guys would love to see it. It is up right now on YouTube. Let's play these super chats so I can get to these shout outs. Thank y'all for being here.
Come on. Come on.
Omega, who can't hold up at all to the unbeatable Super Chat champion who ran out of challengers a long time ago.
Well, nickname Mai, you will be defending your belt in 2 weeks from this Sunday. Will you be able to hold that belt? We gonna see. Because guess what? In 2 weeks, it will be open chat. That's right. Open chat. Let's see who might donate to get that.
Could Hangman interfere in the match and not MJF?
Maybe Hangman and MJF interfere. Maybe. We'll talk about the promo. Because Punk went off in that opening segment. He went off on everybody, which I loved. I'm very curious to see where this leads, but I feel like, wait, Eddie Kingston does have a match against Sammy Guevara. God damn it. Okay. We'll get to it in a second. Let's get these live chat shoutouts out the way. Then we'll get to the review. I just remember Eddie Kingston had a match with Sammy Guevara. So much is happening right now. Thank you to the following people for being here. We got Chemo Embryo, Sam 3, Khalil does everything. Everything. I'm gonna get that over one day. If it's not already over. And then we got Wrestle Spider. And see. Billy Ray Allen, who apparently brought himself a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie t-shirt. Thank you so much. When you get it, please wear it. Share with me on social media, Facebook, Twitter. By the way, my Facebook is back up. That's good news. My Facebook is back up. I just got it back up today. Super excited. But yeah, back to the shout out. Stephen Harris, Leo Melanio, Jamarcus Williams, DT Oversolve. We also got great Reginald Scott, Taryn Jones, Jet the Hawk. What's up, Jet? Good to have you here, buddy. Husky 518, Hassan Terrell. I think I saw Brian Cutler in there. Let me see. Yes, Brian Cutler is here. I'm just scrolling through it now. Nelly Nell, Latrell is here. That is actually his name. It says Latrell is here. Nelly Nell, Christopher Fire. Yeah, it actually says Chris Fire, but I might just go with Christopher. Fire. Yeah. And then we got Anthony. Lad. Joey Mom. Arredondo. I think I saw Joseph Winters. There he is. Casey Morgan, Paid Enthusiast, Nathaniel Rollins, Robert Brown, Zero. I think I'm so used to saying Nathaniel Rollins now. When I meet him in real life, I'm gonna be like Nathaniel. He'll be like, the fuck? When I interview him, and it's gonna happen. I'm gonna interview Seth Rollins one day. I'm gonna be like, what's up, Nathaniel Rollins? He's like, ooh. Then he's gonna smack me because it's lame. Bryce Blackwell, Jacko Robertson, John Beal II. I think I saw Adam Ritter in there. What's up, A-Rit? Adam Ritter. I think I'm good to go. Hold on for 1 second. Omar Feliciano. Bro, did I say that last name right? Omar Feliciano. Wow, I'm proud of myself. And the last one's going to Anastasia Radcliffe. Thank you all so much for being here and showing some love to Alyx's world. I am going to pause the super chats now because I do want to go ahead and get to this live, beautiful live stream. So far, so good. No internet interruptions or anything like that. So we got to start off with the hottest one. The hottest topic that people are talking about is the return of Kenny. By God! Omega. The worst kept secret in all of wrestling. The moment they announced the trios titles, you knew Omega was coming back. And my goodness, what a return. What a return it was. The crowd lost their minds. Sold out, by the way. The arena only seated like 5,000, but it sounded like 10,000. Great audience. They were loud the entire night. Not going to take a shot at WWE crowds, but hey, it is what it is. Like, WWE is starting over. WWE is trying to reestablish wrestling with their audience, and it's going to be hard for that crowd to care, because I know Houston got a lot of heat for being quiet during a wrestling show, but the problem is, it's all new faces, and they're not used to a wrestling-based show. WWE has to train their audience now to appreciate wrestling, which AEW has, and WWE hasn't, but can and will. So over time, when they come back to Houston, I guarantee you will be a lot more louder. But we have to retrain the WWE audience to appreciate wrestling and get over the sports entertainment. How do we do that? Building characters, building storylines to make people care, which is going to take time. Well, AEW put in the work. They built the characters. They built the stories. And people do care. So, Kenny Omega could take 277? 267? 200 plus days. How about that? Can't give you the exact number. I think I said it right the first time. 77, right? Alright. Whatever. Something 7. 200 something 7. He can take almost a year off. And the show still be a freaking banger. And now he's back. AEW is back at full strength. You have no idea how happy I am. The biggest smile on my face. It is so good to have this son of a bitch back inside the ring. And he looked good. It looked good. You had a couple of spots in there that were iffy. But I just chalked those up to ring rust. He's been out. He's been out for like, what, 200? Again, 200 something 7 days. That's a long time to not wrestle. And it's not like he could just train. Nah, he had to get surgery, and then I'm pretty sure the reason he's wearing a shirt is because he had to get surgery. And there's a lot of scars on his body right now. So he's working through it. I thought he looked great. I thought he looked amazing. The crowd loved it. Oh, man. Now that Kenny is back, it just took me... It took me a while to realize AEW has literally the best roster in wrestling right now. I used to think WWE did. Nah, it's AEW. AEW just straight up stole all of WWE's best talent that Vince McMahon clearly was stupid enough to let go and picked them up. And I'm pretty sure we'll get more. Yes, I still think we're going to get Paige. We might not get Sasha. I was on the impression that Mercedes wanted nothing to do with WWE. And the reason I say Mercedes is because right now she is Mercedes, and until she goes back to WWE, I'm going to call her that. But who knows? She could turn around and go right back to WWE, which is, look, it's plausible. I don't care. Let's get something straight. I had no stake in the game. The only difference is I'll be watching her on Channel 26 instead of Channel 247. You get what I'm saying? Well, which one is... I think TBS is 247. Yeah, TNT is 245. Whatever. I'll be pressing 2 buttons instead of 3. I don't care where she goes. I just kind of figure, like, I don't know if you guys saw that video with Sasha and Naomi walking down the street, and some paparazzi dude was all like, "Hey, yo, Sasha, Sasha, you going back to WWE?" And she no-sold his ass. Just get the fuck out of my face. But Naomi was like, "Yeah, you crazy, you crazy." I don't know. I got the vibe that Naomi was like, "I'm going back. I don't know about her." So keep that in mind. She can still go anywhere. I know people are reading rumors that, oh, they locked him in. Same thing with Johnny Gargano. You just never know. Personally, if we're going to bring in Candice and Johnny, Cleveland next week would be the place to do it. Because I know a lot of people were like, Gargano's going to return at Cleveland. In Cleveland, what was it, 2 weeks ago? When Ciampa took on Bobby? Or was it just last Monday? Whenever they did that U.S. title match, I knew for sure people were like, well, this is when he returns. And he didn't. So maybe he returns next week. Why not? It'd be nice. So think about all the potential matches Kenny Omega can have. Not just with Gargano and anyone else coming in, but think about the people we have now. I mean, we still gotta do him and Bryan Danielson again. They need to have a clean match. We haven't seen him and Punk yet. We haven't seen him and Aleister Black, god damn it, Malachi Black yet. Tommy End, Malachi Black, Aleister Black's the same one. Has MJF fought Kenny Omega? I don't think they've touched. No, that can't be right. Maybe. Someone do some research really quickly. Do some research. I feel like there's 10,000 matches we haven't seen with Omega. Ah, my goodness. I'm almost certain we haven't seen Eddie Kingston versus Kenny Omega. I think for sure we haven't seen that match yet. We also haven't seen Darby Allin versus Omega or Sting versus Omega. It's like a whole new roster for Omega to work with. Keith Lee versus Omega. Wardlow versus Omega. We got so much for Omega to work with, and I am super excited to see what he does. It's good to have him back. By the way, that Trios tournament match, mwah, chef's kiss. Loved it. I thought Dragon Lee especially was a highlight. Andrade is getting a lot of TV time, by the way. I think a lot of people assumed that he didn't want to be there no more, and he was not happy due to Triple H taking over and him being an NXT guy, and they're like, oh, I guess he wants to go back. I don't think he wants to go back. I think he's happy. There was that rumor that came out, again, this is reported by Fightful Select, that WWE did reach out to an AEW wrestler under contract. I'm not making this up. They reached out to an AEW wrestler already under contract, and that person said, I'm happy where I am. Oof. We call that contract tampering, and that's illegal. Now, I am assuming they didn't know he was under contract, and that's why that happened. Because remember, Tony Khan, he has told us many times before, he has numerous wrestlers already signed to a contract, and he's just waiting to debut them. So, maybe one of the wrestlers that was under contract was someone they didn't know was under contract. And one of those wrestlers was Wendell Rotunda. Or Johnny Gargano. Or maybe it was already someone on the roster, like Miro and Andrade, which would be fucking scummy. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think WWE called someone they didn't know was under contract. Although Fightful Select did say that all indications point to them knowing they were under contract, which again is contract tampering. That's terrible. Regardless, there's so many matches we can do. with Kenny Omega back. And that Trios Tournament main event was phenomenal. They worked so well together. I like that Kenny Omega sold the idea that he was rusty. Like, he didn't do the dive. He didn't do a lot of moves that he was not able to do. I think he was, what was that called? The "You Can't Escape." And then he hits that rolling slam, but he didn't do the moonsault. So, again, ring rust, but it's good to have him back. There's so much we can do with Omega, and I am excited. I am ecstatic to see what they do next. So give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts about Kenny Omega being back. I'm very, very happy to see what fans have to say. All right, let's move on to the show itself. I am so excited to talk about this first segment. So, tonight's Dynamite was in Charleston, West Virginia. Charleston, West Virginia. The arena was the Charleston Coliseum. Yeah, the Charleston Coliseum, which only sat like 5,000. But it sold out. They sold that bitch out. It was a really big show for them. And we opened up with the personality on this Game of Thrones based show. Well, it's not Game of Thrones. It's House of the Dragons? House of the Dragons. Okay, cool. And Punk opens the show. He gets on the microphone. And oh my god, it's like he had pipe bombs ready to go in the chamber. First off, he says he's trying to be a tough guy right now and hold up a tough guy face. But the crowd just makes him smile. And his smile isn't the prettiest. But his belt is the prettiest. He hasn't been around. And he has some business to attend to. He wants to start with the less important stuff. Then he sits down and then he says, there's someone in the back who I have business with. He calls out Hangman Page. The crowd's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? Sits down Indian style, pipe bomb style. Calls out Hangman Page. Cowboy shit chants. Cowboy shant. Cowboy shant. No Hangman Page. And then Punk stands up and goes, that's what I thought. That's not cowboy shit. That's coward shit. And I went, whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell? You're like, okay. Is that how we're kicking things off? Mr. AEW champion? Damn. Yeah, Page doesn't come down. And then he says, the apology must be at least as loud as the disrespect. That's a general rule. And if anybody else wants some, come on down. Because everybody wants to be the champ, but nobody wants to do champ shit. Wow. Then he goes on to Jon Moxley. He says, Jon Moxley's got a lot of fans, and he could be number one in your heart, but he's not number one in this ring. And CM Punk is the AEW, the true AEW World Champion. He knows what it's like to talk a big game and claim to be the best. And he knows what it's like to lose. But Mox has always been number 2. And then he hits him with one of the best lines, the best disses I've heard him say so far in AEW. There's always been a guy that has his number. And Punk is that guy. Jon Moxley is... This is so good. Jon Moxley is the third best guy in his own group. And that seems to be a recurring theme in his career. Ooh! Damn, he hit him with you ain't gonna matter. The third best guy in his group. Damn! He calls Eddie Kingston the third best Eddie and the second best Kingston he's ever been in a locker room with. Because I thought about that. So, Punk has fought, I know Eddie Guerrero's won. Who's the other Eddie? Wait a minute, let me think about this. Eddie. I don't know any more Eddies. I know Eddie Kingston, Eddie Guerrero. Y'all gonna have to help me out with that third Eddie. The second Kingston? Who's the other Kingston? That one's obscure to me, but alright. He repeatedly asks us to tell him when he's telling lies, and admits he missed us, and he missed defending the title, and he's ready to do it again against Jon Moxley at All Out. And that's when Jon Moxley comes out. So I'm already just like sweating over Punk's promo. I'm like, bro, you've already killed it. And now here comes Jon Moxley? What else you got? Moxley comes out. And Punk was doing snow angels while Moxley came out because he didn't take him seriously. He did that to John Cena too in WWE. So it's cool to see him being that old douchebag. But here comes Moxley, moseying down, gets on the microphone. He says to watch out. Punk's dropping pop bombs, writing checks with his mouth that his body clearly can't cash yet, referencing his leg injury. He thinks he's the best wrestler in the world. Most of the time, he's not even the best wrestler in catering. Oh, Moxley. Oh, we're going at it. I love it. Punk thinks the microphone in his hands is power. But this is the real world. And the words he spits in the mic don't mean shit. And neither does the belt on his shoulder. To be fair, the belt on Moxley's shoulder also doesn't mean shit until he beats Punk. He calls himself the heart and soul of the company. And every time he's called interim champion, it really pisses him off. He hates that. I put my body on the line. I've wrestled more and I've done so much more for AEW. And I hate the fact that people see you as the face of the company and not me. Punk says he can be the heart and soul, that's fine. But Punk is the dollars and the cents. The dollar bills. John then says, I love this. John says they both know he only came back to AEW because he ran out of money. And being the best is about guts and fighting spirit. And we all know Punk ran out of fighting spirit a long time ago. And then that's when they get nose to nose. And then Punk, again, because he's amazing, Punk says they have a match at the pay-per-view. And he's afraid if he touches Moxley, he's going to bleed all over him. Come on, man. This promo was awesome. Then they brawl. I didn't even care that much. At that point, I didn't even care because I was sold. I was sold on the match. Give it to me. I'm ready. Like, I am ready to put $50 down right fucking now. That's what I said. That's what I said watching that promo. That promo was outstanding. Guys, let me tell you something. You got to have a plan next week. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I know MJF is coming back. I know he's coming back next week. He has to be coming back. There is no way you can have this match not main event pay-per-view. There's no way unless MJF is coming back. So it's clear MJF is returning. Crazy to me. Someone's telling me to look at the chat. Why? I just asked who the other Kingston was. It was Kofi Kingston. Duh. Eddie Kingston, Kofi Kingston. Now, who was the other Eddie? That other Eddie was weird to me. Someone said Eddie Gilbert. Who's Eddie Gilbert? Eddie Edwards? Okay, I don't know. Well, the brawl is happening. I'm sold. I can't express to you how fucking ecstatic I am to watch this match next week. There's no way that you give this match away for free if MJF is not so. I will be very, very suspicious of Tony Khan if this match just happens and we get a new champion and then nothing else follows up with the pay-per-view. I'm like, what are you doing? You get me? But man, holy shit. I'm excited for next week. I'm gonna be watching Moxley versus Punk next week. Are you serious? My goodness. That opening segment though. And then later on in the night, Tony Nese came out and then Moxley beats his ass up before he can have his match, gets in the ring and calls out Punk. They come out and start brawling again. They just can't keep away from each other. And that's when it was announced the match is happening next week. So now, I have to think MJF is coming. That's the only reason we're doing this match next week. And think about the ratings. Think about the ratings for Punk and Moxley next week. If that doesn't get over 1 million views, I think we need to get a different strategy, because holy shit. Wow. That's crazy. I love it, though. I love it. You know what I also loved? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat making an appearance. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was shown at a table as the special guest timekeeper. And Chris Jericho came out to be on commentary for the next match. The first match of the night was American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Dragon Slayer Red Death Daniel Garcia in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Guys, I know I use this term a lot, and at this point it's a hyperbole. But I truly believe when it comes to Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia, this has to be a match of the year candidate. The only reason it wouldn't be is because of the commercials. If this match was commercial free and they went uninterrupted, guarantee you it'd be a match of the year. At least it's a contender, but who knows? Maybe it will be the match of the year. This was, oh my god, this match was insane. Even just watching it during the commercial breaks, the way Bryan was taking these chops, the way he set up like a monk. He gets the hits and he just sits up with his eyes closed, hits them, sits up with his eyes closed. It was so badass. It was so cool. But you know who was also badass? Daniel Garcia looked like a fucking star. He looked like a star. Please tell me that this boy is being set up to be a main event player, because I believe it. I think it's been a while since I saw someone get over this much. Probably since, Wheeler Yuta. It's incredible that Wheeler Yuta just months ago had his moment. Now he's a young up and coming star, and now we got homeboy here, Daniel Garcia. Now he's an up and coming star. All three of them, and when I say three, I do mean Sammy Guevara too. All three of them just blow me away. And I love that the first fall. The first fall went to Garcia, who beat Bryan with a dragon sleeper. Poetic. That's figure stats. Poetic. Not before he gave him a pile driver first, which was devastating. So a pile driver and then the dragon sleeper. Loved it. But then Bryan got a roll-up pin on Garcia, and then he made him pass out to the LaBelle lock. Tribute to Jean LaBelle, who passed away. Oh my goodness, this was a stiff match. It had everything. There's only a few matches when you watch them and you're able to sit through the commercial break and not move. Because usually when a commercial break happens, I go get something to eat, get some water. Even if it's women's matches, like if Thunder Rosa was even in the match, I'd be like, she ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna go take up this and get something to water. But I didn't get up. I kept watching the match, and I got frustrated. Like, Tony, what the fuck? Why all the commercials during this match? The fuck? And Daniel Garcia is 23 years old. He's only 23. We're gonna get a good decade out of him. Man, this should be a match of the year candidate. I love that Bryan won with the LaBelle lock. And then afterwards. And by the way, I love that Daniel Garcia sold it like, what Wait. What happened? Well, we're still wrestling. Put him up. Like, Brian kicked his ass so badly, he got knocked down and forgot where he was. And then afterwards, Brian's like, give this man some love. He is a wrestler. He's a goddamn wrestler. And the crowd starts chanting, you're a wrestler. You're a wrestler. You're a wrestler. And then Chris Jericho's like, he's a sports entertainer. God damn it. Enters the ring, beats up Daniel Bryan Danielson. Danielson. I don't know. Bryan Danielson beats him up. Beats up that. Chris Jericho beats up Bryan. So I got myself confused. Chris Jericho beats up Bryan Danielson. God damn it. And then Daniel Garcia stops him. And the crowd's like, ooh. And then Garcia's conflicted. Do I want to be a sports entertainer? Or do I want to be a wrestler? Sports entertainer? Wrestler. What's he gonna be? Sports entertainer? Wrestler. We don't know. But that is the catalyst for Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. I love it. That match is gonna be great too. Danielson versus Jericho. When was the last time they fought? Did they? No. They've wrestled before. NXT. They wrestled on NXT. Did they wrestle after that? I feel like they have. I feel like Jericho and Bryan did wrestle at one point. Maybe it was in 2012 or 2013. I don't remember. Because Bryan retired. Remember, he retired in 2014 and then returned until 2018. By that point, Jericho was out of WWE. So I think it's got to be at least a good 10 years since they've wrestled. So they haven't touched each other in 10 years. Good to know. And I don't think, has Bryan ever beaten Chris Jericho? He lost to him on NXT. I know that for sure. Someone do some research. Find it for me. And also like the video. I have 120, I can't speak English. I have 120 people in this live chat. Like the video. So yeah, people are saying 2012, and has Bryan ever beaten Chris Jericho? I'm gonna say no. Right? And someone corrected me. He didn't retire in 2014, 2016. My bad. Okay, so 2016. Okay. I feel like sorry, I just thought after he got injured in 2014, he was just done. So, thank you for that. Okay, y'all tell me. But yeah, that's gonna be a great match to see. For sure. Let's move on. I think after this was it Swerve in Our Glory? Swerve in Our Glory. Keith Lee and, of course, Swerve Strickland talking to Private Party backstage saying, we gonna fight you on Rampage. And they was like, okay. And that was it. And then after that, we got Punk and Moxley again. And then that's when the match was announced for next week. And then we got the S-Boys, Austin and Colton Gunn taking down the Varsity Blondes. And the match was like over in 10 seconds. Yeah, Varsity Blondes are like the resident jobbers. Ouch. And then Billy Gunn gets on the microphone and says, I'm so proud of you. I've taught you everything that you know. Bring it in. And then he says, I love him. And then that's when Stokely Hathaway comes out. And then the shocker of shockers, Austin and Cole Gunn attack Billy Gunn. They attacked their father. What? And then the Acclaim come out. They save Billy Gunn. And apparently, what got one of the biggest reactions of the night was the return of Scissor Me Daddy Ass. So Scissor Me Daddy Ass is back. The crowd loved it when they did the scissoring. It was great. Mm-hmm. We just like to scissor each other, don't we? Pause. Moving on. Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh challenged FTR and Wardlow to a match at All Out, and they said yes. Then we got Death Triangle, Pac, and of course Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix saying next week they're gonna fight United Empire. What the fuck? We're gonna do Will Ospreay and the United Empire versus Pac and the Lucha Bros? Oh my god! Hell yeah! By the way, this is the first time I've seen Pac with the All-Atlantic title since he won it. Yeah, that's the first time I saw him with that belt since he won it at the pay-per-view in June. Jungle Boy Jack Perry comes out, says he got in trouble for wearing the Christian is a Pussy t-shirt. He says, don't do that. That's not right. You know, although he tried to run him over with a car, and that was okay, but wearing a t-shirt that says, don't say Christian is a pussy, that's crossing the line. Sure. Basically says, you know, I've been trying to get my hands on Cage. I've been trying to hit it with the car, with his hands, and blah, 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 with a chair. And he keeps running away from me. And Cage has done absolutely nothing because he's a pussy. And then the crowd starts, well, okay, not the crowd. There's a section of fans that start wetting him. And Jungle Boy just turns his shoulder to these fans and goes, bitch, I will kill you. Do you understand that I wrestle for a living? I have a high pain tolerance. I have broken my bones on numerous occasions. I have broken other people's bones on numerous occasions. And you want to fuck with me? I'll take all you bitches on. He didn't say that, but he said it in his head. I know because I read minds. It doesn't matter. They're doing what chance? What is wrong with y'all? What the hell? Just disrespectful. Again, I'm at a point now with wrestling where WWE and AEW are killing it. There was no reason for those what chants. There really wasn't. And then Christian came out. He was all like, well, Jungle Boy challenged Christian to a match at All Out. And Christian's like, no. No, bitch. And he didn't call him a bitch, but he's all like, no. Instead, let's be a team again. Please. Please, just be a team again, please. Please. Be a team again, please. And Jungle Boy said, no, bitch. And then he starts beating up Christian. Like, they start brawling, they start fighting, and then he pounds Christian's head against the steel steps on the outside. And it was great. It was glorious. I will defend. I won't give in till I'm victorious. I miss that theme song so much. I hope Bobby Roode returns with it. Kylan King versus Toni Storm. Good match, good wrestling match between the women. Kylan King is very underrated for a big girl. That girl can go. Hopefully they actually do sign her, and they're not just bringing her in for off appearances here and there. But Toni Storm won with the Pendulum DDT. And we saw Thunder Rosa backstage just clapping like, yay. I'm so happy right now. Not really, I hate this bitch. She thinks she's better than me. I'm gonna kill her ass. She probably said that in her head, but come on. You know, she's not gonna say it out loud. She ain't stupid. Not like Tony Khan can do anything about it. Toni Storm or Khan. Doesn't really matter. Whatever Tony it is. But mess with Thunder Rosa. Then we move on to a video package, and I think this included the Trustbusters. Trustbusters and the Best Friends who are going to be fighting on Friday. And then we got the return of Kenny Omega taking on Los Ingobernables. Or is it... Wait, what is their name? La Fashion Ingobernable. So, La Fashion Ingobernable. Andrade, Dragon Lee, Roosh taking on the Elite, Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson for the AEW World Trios Championship. Well, the tournament for the first round. Man, I'm super excited about this. As you know, Omega won. We already talked about that. Dragon Lee did a lot of crazy spots. Loved his dive to the outside where he took Omega off, clean off that barricade. It was throwed. It wasn't throwed. It was throwed. It's the difference. You heard the enunciation? Throwed. No. Throde is not what it was. It was Throde. Say it with me. Throde. Thank you. Yes, the Elite win after Omega hits Dragon Lee with a he hit him with the one winged angel, but it was kind of clunky because Dragon Lee's mask fell off. So it was like, wait, hold on, let me get my mask on really quickly. Don't drop me. I swear to God, don't drop me. Okay, it's on now. Now hit me. 1, 2, 3. That's why it was clunky, but we're good though. Omega wins, and then the show is literally cutting off as Andrade hits the DDT on Dragon Lee, and you're like, what the fuck? And then they're gone. You're like, wait, God damn it. So yeah, Dragon Lee just got kicked out of La Faction Ingobernables, or Inable, whatever. He got kicked out the stable. So I guess he's going babyface? We'll have to see. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, this is going to be a great pay-per-view. I'm super excited about this, seriously. This is awesome. Awesome work, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good time to be a wrestling fan. Look, I gotta keep saying it. We have lost the plot. Some fans have lost the plot. It gets to a point where all we do is complain. We bitch and moan and complain. And I cannot believe, even seeing online right now, I just read a post while talking to y'all about this. Some dude was all like, well, even if MJF comes back, that's still bad timing because why would you waste a pay-per-view main event on TV? Like, would y'all shut up? Like, you're not booking this shit. If you feel like you can book a show better, go start your own company. God damn, man. Like, we've been ranting about wrestling for the last decade. Well, more than that, last 2 decades. And now we can't break out of it. We can't break out of it now. We're so used to ranting and raving. I contributed to that. For years, I've contributed to that. I've just ranted and raved, and that's one of the reasons why I'm where I am from ranting and raving. Deservedly so. Because some of these companies were garbage. Not all of them, but most of them were. And so they deserve to be ranted on. Well, maybe not most of them, some of them. But you get the idea. But the whole reason I was doing that is to get here. Where WWE is rebuilding itself with new characters in wrestling. And then AEW is killing it, man. With hot crowds, with returning stars. Every crowd has been fucking hot. On fire. And we got CM Punk drawing in the viewers, drawing in the ratings, selling tickets. Moxley about to fight him. MJF coming back. Bryan Danielson having a classic match with Daniel Garcia, making new stars. Chris Jericho having some of the best matches of his career. Great women's wrestling. Great tag team wrestling. FTR. And then Ring of Honor doing it shit with Cesaro as champion. Y'all, you gotta understand when I tell you, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. We have got to get over ourselves. Get over yourselves. It is time to love wrestling again. Do you hear me? Can we love wrestling? Because this is the time to do it. Everything we've been bitching about, we're getting now. No more Vince McMahons. No more people in the business telling us that you can't like this because the only thing that's supposed to be like is sports entertainment. Both shows are great. Now, I don't know about y'all. Raw was great. Dynamite was epic. So, if I had to choose which one was better, I thought Dynamite was the best show this week so far. I don't see SmackDown topping it, but SmackDown hasn't appeared yet. So, we'll see. I'm excited, man. I'm super excited to talk about wrestling, and I don't know how you feel, but thank y'all for watching. So, we're going to do the live chat really quickly. Let me turn on these super chats. People subscribing. Thank y'all for subscribing, by the way. Quick reminder, Victoria's interview is back up. It is back up. Also, let me plug Raw Cognizance really quickly. Those of you who are here, if you are someone or some people who love movies and you like to hear someone give their opinions on stuff outside of wrestling, I got just a show for you. So check this out. Why don't you guys follow me over to the page known as Raw Cognizance. Let me set this up really quickly. So my secondary show called Raw Cognizance, where we talk about literally anything, everything outside of wrestling. We got Alex Jones exposed the fraud in Sandy Hook InfoWars case. We're going to be talking about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson breaking up, Donald Trump being raided by the FBI, and other topics. Check this topic out. This one drops tomorrow. Would Taylor Swift be famous without Kanye West? Would Taylor Swift be famous without Kanye West? Think about that. Lady Gaga officially playing Harley Quinn and Joker. Very excited about that one. Let me see here. I think... Oh yeah, Batgirl getting canceled. The main problem with Phase 4, Dave Chappelle, pro-choice protesters forced Justice Brett Kavanaugh, everything. Brittany Griner, Will Smith. Check this one out. Should Marvel recast T'Challa in the MCU? So many topics for you. And we got more coming out. So if that's something that you guys are into, Raw Cognizance is the page. Once again, Raw Cognizance Podcast. Check it out.